Hey, welcome back to another episode of Printing's Alive with me, your host, Warren Werbit. Today we have a super special guest. All my guests are special, but this one's super special. Why? Two reasons. One, super young, new in the business, and two, comes from over the pond. So, Rebekah Hughes from Latcham. How you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm good, thank you.
Pleasure's mine. Anytime we can get young people to come and speak, it's great because we need to spread more of the word. So, let's just start off. Tell me a little bit about you first, and then a little bit about the company.
Yeah, sure. So I graduated from university with a degree in marketing and communications. I actually then went off and kind of did a specialism in digital marketing. And then came back and I've been working with Latcham for only 3 months now. And then obviously have come back to the print industry. So yeah.
So, what brought you to print?
Well, it's been part of kind of my family for years. Started with my great grandma, and then my granddad, and then my dad. And it's something that I've always loved, and something that I'm passionate about. And I think it has like a good establishment and growth. So it's an exciting industry to be part of.
Cool. What do all your friends do? Or actually, I say, what do all your friends do? What did they say when you told them you're going into print?
They always refer to the US office and they're like, so you're basically like Dunder Mifflin, you're basically Michael Scott, you're working with paper. And a lot of my friends always introduce me. They're like, oh, this is Rebekah, she worked in paper, she's like the office, which I always find really funny.
Oh my God, I think that's so cool.
Yes, always
So at least you're always a subject and top of mind, right?
exactly, yeah.
And do you find yourself having to explain to them that print is really alive and well?
Yeah, do you know what? One of my favorite things is when someone kind of asks me what you do, and I'm like, oh, I work in print. And they're like, oh. And I will be wherever we are, and I'll just be like, look, that's printed, we could do that, we can do that, we can do that. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, it makes sense now.
I'm sitting here and I'm like smiling, grinning because that's exactly what I do all the time. And I think that's what we as an industry need to do more of. And, show our passion and talk to people and point it out. Because when I think about print and what's dead, because print is anything but, maybe letterhead. People still use business cards. It's still the first thing that you give out when you meet
Mhm.
someone. Letterhead may be the only thing that's dead, in my opinion. But otherwise, without print, how's anyone going to know anything go anywhere?
Yeah, exactly. And we can't all rely on digital technology. We need something else. So yeah.
Agreed. Tell me a little bit about Latcham. What do you do? What do they do? And then what do you do there?
Okay, so Latcham is an intelligent fulfillment company. So we do a lot of communications for different companies in different sectors. So I'd say we specialize in membership, education, financial services, and we do medical fulfillment. And we can do either kind of like small print communication. So we do that sometimes for colleges, or we can like print out 100,000 communications and of different qualities as well. And we can do like pick and pack. So we do like a whole range. Data we also do. We do a lot. We kind of touch in lots of different sectors and lots of different markets. So it's quite an interesting company to work for.
So maybe I should ask you, what don't you do?
Yeah, I know. I don't feel like that. Because we're doing like digital solutions and we're kind of growing that way, but we're still growing on our print side. So it does kind of feel like we touch on everything and do everything, and it's super exciting actually.
Well, actually, I like to touch on everything and do everything because then you're able to offer more services to the client and you get to keep the client there longer.
Yeah.
As opposed to, actually, what I think more companies do today is they invest time with their print partners because it's a bigger learning curve today and there's more options on things to do, and things take longer. Whereas before, most people just went wherever their salespeople went.
Yeah, and I also think as well with Latcham, I'm sure it's the same for other fulfillment companies, but we really value our relationships, and that's something that we like really aim to build on. So we have like experts in each sector that we work with, and they have like knowledge and understanding, and they work with our kind of customers to build things as well, and we really listen to them, and they're part of the whole process. And we always say that we should be delivering the same quality to everyone, to our smaller customers, to our largest customers. Like everyone should be getting the same level of service and quality.
Well, I think if a company's set up to deliver service and quality, how are you delivering anything but that to everyone? Because you can't, unless you have one side of the building that's a quality operation and the other side of the building is just your down and dirty operation, but that doesn't really work.
Mm.
Are you guys certified in any way to do anything, or any accreditations?
Yeah, we have quite a lot of accreditations, and again, different accreditations to different sectors, and we're part of a lot of trade organizations and different sectors. I can't remember the exact name of the accreditation, but I know we've got like medical accreditations that you have to have in order to do that, and then we're part of trade unions for membership. So it kind of like we just kind of span across, and like I said, we've got different experts, so they're the ones that really work with each sector and make sure we have the correct accreditations and everything like that for each sector.
Cool. How many people in the company?
We have, I believe, just under 190 at the moment.
Wow, so it's a little bit bigger than a smaller operation.
Yeah, like SME.
Cool. And what's the culture of the company? And I'm asking that question because you're new to the industry. You're coming in. Print. I won't get into what print is in a lot of places, but how do you see it in your place?
I actually love the culture at Latcham. Everyone is super passionate, and I actually find that about the whole industry. But obviously, I see it a lot more in where I work every single day. And there's a lot of people who know this industry inside out. They know what they're doing inside out, but they're also really keen to teach you, and they actually want you to understand and they want you to learn. And I feel like everyone wants to support you as well, and make sure that you're kind of comfortable and doing the right thing, which I love.
Cool. Sounds like a great environment to be in. So
Yeah.
in the 3 months that you're in the facility, are you doing different things, moving around in different departments, or are you focusing on any one thing?
I'm in the marketing department, so I came in as the marketing executive. But I find with marketing, and the reason I like marketing and I do marketing, is it does lend its hand for you to kind of go into all these different departments and ask people questions. And we've recently starting like a video series, and it's going in and talking to people, which I love. So it kind of like allows me to just like dip my toes into everything.
Oh, cool. Listen, I think that's how you stay fresh and stay interested instead of just being at the same job, making the same cookies every single
Yeah.
day. So what's the average age in the company?
I don't know, but it's definitely on the older side.
Yeah, so you help bring it way down.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few of us that help along, but I would probably say the average age, I don't want to offend anyone, but I would say it's 40.
40 to me, that's young. I wouldn't be offended if I was 40, but that's a good age. So growing up, and your grandmother, your grandfather, your father, was print always a topic around the table of discussion?
Absolutely. Yeah. It really was. And it's so funny when we would go out, if there was like something printed and it was like printed in a certain way, it was like, wow, that's printed on this, or that's printed this way, or so yeah, it's always been a topic of conversation.
Cool. And when you go out, I guess, I mean, when we used to go out, and I'd be shopping in the store, and I'd be with my wife at the time. She'd be at the cash register screaming, "Where are you?" And I'd be stuck in an aisle because I'm picking up something and I'm looking at it and I'm going like, "Oh my God, for a brand, how did they accept that? If I printed that, it would have been refused."
Yeah.
So, and then everywhere I go, I'm doing that with print.
Yeah, and I've started doing that more now. Now I'm in it. Like I'm looking at everything and being like, whoa, like either that's really good or I'm like, oh my gosh, who passed that?
No, that's good. That means you've got the print bug in you, and now you have to figure out how we could help push it everywhere and get to people.
Mm-hmm.
Because at one point people were just a little negative on us, but the truth is, I've always said that without print, nothing moves in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Instructions, directions, how to do things,
Mm-hmm.
all of that. So it's pretty cool. Before we were talking, and you brought up the topic of neurodivergence,
Yes.
which is a big word. And what I thought I would do is I would just give a little what it is for people listening in case you're sitting there and you don't want to go to Google or chat or check it out. But so what I have here is neurodivergence is an umbrella term used to describe natural variations in the way people's brains function. I'm smiling, just I'm thinking of my own malfunction. Process information, how interact with the world. Instead of viewing certain neurological differences as disorders or deficits, the concept of neurodivergence emphasizes that there's simply different ways of thinking and experiencing life. And then it
100%.
lists a couple examples of, autism spectrum disorder, ADHD, me, dyslexia, me, Tourette's, not me, but I know some people. And then there's a few others. So
Yeah.
in us discussing it, why did you feel you wanted to talk about it?
I kind of wanted to talk about it because I think in terms of work and education, and I think a lot of it is that we kind of, in the print industry, we want to bring bright minds in, and we want it to become a place where young people want to come in and they want to work. And I think obviously there's a whole other different topics that we can talk about because I'm neurodivergent, I've got dyslexia and I've got ADD, used to have ADHD. I feel like, yeah, get on this. On those. I feel like it's something that I can kind of talk on, and I think it's something that's important to talk on, because it is seen as a disadvantage quite a lot of the time. And, with ADHD, kind of you are all over the place, and your time management is horrific. It's just, it is what it is.
You think so?
Yeah. And it's like as well, it's kind of your time management's all over the place. I have it when my brain sometimes works faster than my mouth, so I'll like stumble on my words a lot and things like that. And also can't sit still, or background noise kind of gets me sometimes. There's just loads of little things. And I think that when I was younger, I was really honed into from school, not my parents have been incredible, from school, that all the negative things, and I wasn't actually looking at all the positive things that come with it. And dyslexia as well, like I can't spell well at all, my sentence structure is horrific, and thank goodness that ChatGPT, especially during my
But by the way, AI has, with all of my things, AI has truly just taken a whole lot of pressure and anxiety out of my daily living.
Me too.
And it's funny that you say that, because I think about it every other day. And just quickly, when you talk about moving, not sitting still, I just did 7 miles with my foot moving under the desk. And since I started these podcasts, I've been trying and practicing to sit still and not do that, because I don't do the click thing because it's annoying. But anyways, so it's good that you brought it up. But sorry to interrupt you.
I'll be doing the same. I'll be moving a lot, and I'm standing right now, not sitting, because if I was sitting, I wouldn't be able to do it. So that's why I'm standing. So you'll see me like go back and forth. But it's all those kind of things, and I think that they're the kind of things that sometimes you're told to focus on. Like it's almost like, but you've got ADHD, so you can't sit still, you can't. And it's like, yeah, that's true, but actually, there's a lot of benefits that come with ADHD, and dyslexia, and other neurodivergencies, such as like a broader creative mind, being able to think outside the box. We're able to think sideways more than other people. We also can sometimes be a lot more understanding because we understand what it's like sometimes to have difficulties, and things like that. And I think that's really important for both people who have neurodivergencies coming into the workplace to understand that it's not an issue, it can be a benefit, and you need to realize in yourself how it's helping you, which took me a while to do. And then I suddenly realized, I was like, whoa, this is actually like a massive strength, because like it said, you're able to think differently, you're able to bring new ideas to the table that other people may not be able to think about, and things like that. And again, like my creativity, I work in marketing, and print is creative because we need to come up with new designs and concepts and things like that. So I think that almost within creative industries, you can use your neurodivergencies as a benefit, and it's not always the negative that you're told it's about. It's basically my little speech.
Yeah, no, I'm sitting here and I'm just doing my own thinking because I've had it, I think, my whole life, and I don't think anybody recognized it or did anything about it. And only later in life, in the last 10 or 12, 15 years, did I latch on to a better understanding of it. And then when I look back to my schooling, and I'm thinking, oh my God, if people then knew a little more, they might have given me the tools to get by and get through it.
Yeah.
So I never made it through uni because I just couldn't sit still. Actually, funny, when I went, the only class that I sat in was the marketing class. And to this day, it was Harold Simpkins was the teacher. Funny enough, unbeknown to me, one of his sons became one of my fishing buddies, and only put the relationship together. We were sitting by the water, and I said, I had a teacher with the same last name as you. And he's like, that's my father. But anyway, that's another story. But in that class, I went to it because everything that he was talking about was everything that I could touch, see, and feel and understood every day. Right? When the exam happened at the end of the year, I went to the exam. I don't know why, because I never read the book. And then 10 minutes in, I thought to myself, I'm done here because I'm not going to make it. And I got up, and the whole auditorium was kind of flipping out because you're not supposed to leave an exam within the first hour. And I decided then I'm done. And then I went into work. But only after the fact, like I said a few years ago, I start thinking about putting it together, all the path I was on, and it was pretty difficult at the time. And I think today, you brought it up, and great topic, because I think it is a big thing out there. I think ADHD, ADHD, all that stuff runs rampant. I think people, they medicate a lot of people, which is okay if you know what it is you're being medicated for, because it's not always the solution. The marketing, the moving, the bouncing. Oh my God, my family hated me with the remote control. Can't watch one thing for more than 6 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have that, but how did you make it through school and end up where you are, knowing what you know?
So through school, I was on medication. I can't even remember the name of the medication, which is horrific because I took it for honestly about 10 years. But I just know it was 36 milligrams. And then when it came to exams, I'd take 10 milligrams because that would help me with my prep, like homework. And exams I found really hard. And if there were subjects that I wasn't interested in, I found that so hard. My brain just didn't absorb the information. But when I found subjects that I loved, I was almost like the hardest working one, because I'd almost like hyper fixate on the subject. I was so passionate about the subject. And it's funny that you said about marketing, because I remember, now this is really strange, but because a lot of people when they're younger have ambitions to be like astronauts or ballerinas or something like that.
Not me.
When I was 8, I think I was 8, around that age, I used to have, my school used to have like a separate centre for if you like struggled with dyslexia or something, and they could help you. It was a really good school, to be honest. So I was there, and she gave me an advertisement. It was a car advertisement, and she was like, okay, pull this apart. Tell me why they put certain things where they did. And I just remember being like, whoa, this is incredible. This is so fascinating. And then from that day, I decided I wanted to be a marketeer. I'm not even joking, which is just crazy. But from the bright old age of 8, I was like, I'm going to be a marketeer. I love it because it's all about the brain. It's all about creativity. And it's all about kind of like trying to speak to certain people. So you have to put yourself in other people's positions. And I just thought that was amazing and fascinating. And I was like, that's me. So I kind of went with a head like that. So I loved English language. I like loved writing stories, creative stories. I couldn't spell. So again, my lovely women in Coach House would like write down the stories for me, and I'd win competitions because I had the stories in my brain. I just couldn't write them. And it was actually the same with speaking. I did like a lot of public speaking, poem reading, things like that, and I loved it. Like creative words and things like that was just kind of my thing. Photography, I really got into my photography, and I ended up choosing it as a level, so kind of my like end like levels that you do, so from 17 to 18. And I remember everyone being like, oh, photography, like that's not an academic A level, you're really gonna put yourself down if you do that. And at this point, I knew I was going to go into marketing because, you know, I've decided that 10 years ago when I was
Right.
a kid. So I was like, but it will help. And it was the best thing I ever did, was doing that for myself, because it was such a passion. And instead of it being like academic, it was just allowing my brain to kind of come up with these concepts and going out and doing them. And I fell in love with it. And I ended up again winning like the overall photography awards because I just kind of fell in love with having that like creative outlet. And I think that was the thing through school, was making sure I had things that I was passionate about always, because that allowed me to kind of hone in and focus and have a drive to continue. I think if I kind of went and tried to do what everyone was kind of telling you to do, which is go down the academic route because you'll get such a better job when you come out and it will give you so many better opportunities, I would have just lost interest, and I would have just given up. I know I would have. And I think that's kind of the problem, is it's like, do what you believe and what you love, and you'll come out and you'll love what you do. So you're going to keep wanting to go, and you're going to keep wanting to be the best, and that's all you can do.
What I like, what I see today is there's companies that don't necessarily look at your degree or your academic level. I mean, I know some schools where everyone coming out of there has like a top mark, but they have no personality and they have nothing else to go along with it. And I think you need a mix. So I think today people are looking at you differently, more openly, whereas before my parents and everybody was pushing a degree and you had to have a certain degree,
Yeah.
which how did you feel? How were you feeling going through school, you know, with what you have, looking around you, people moving at whatever speed, doing their own thing?
I really struggled actually at some points. I'm surrounded with the bestest friends in the whole entire world and some incredible people, and my friends are all highly intelligent. And
Me too, unfortunately.
honestly,
You know,
you got
really.
like just I felt sometimes a little bit like stupid compared to them, And it was nothing that they were doing. I mean, they were just doing their school. Like, it's nothing to them, but that's just how I felt. And again, when you say, it's interesting when you say like the speed that people were going, people were going a lot faster than I was going. And I think that kind of, yeah, just made me feel dumb when I wasn't dumb. I was just different.
Yeah, no, I asked the question because being that I have a lot of similar things to you,
Hmm.
my parents picked up on nothing, and nobody really picked up on anything. So I always felt a little behind,
Hmm.
and I also felt everyone around me was super smart. A lot of them scholastically, like book smart.
Yeah.
Um, Fast forward, that's not the end all and the end game anymore. But even now, still, because of some of these things, I have a hard time with pronunciation of words.
Me too.
I live in an area, a city, province where French is you need to have French, and for the life of me, I can't learn French. I've had years of private instruction. I've done tutors. I've done everything. My brain does not function. So every time I'm talking with someone here and they talk French and I can't talk French, I feel inferior. And
Hmm.
I almost feel that I want to explain myself to
Hmm.
them as to why I'm not speaking French. I'm not disrespecting anyone. I'm not trying it, but internally I'm exploding
Hmm.
because I don't know what to do. And, even reading, I thank God for some audiobooks if I don't fall asleep. But reading, it's like I could read the first page of a book 10 times before I move on
Yeah.
because it's slow. And
Yeah.
then someone turned me on to the idea of reading and listening to the audiobook at the same time as practice. But there's all those simple things every day, even today, that I want to explain to everyone why I'm doing some things because they don't understand.
Yeah.
Or conversations, I could get a little excited, and my excitement is sometimes taken the wrong way, right, as aggression or not letting somebody else speak, and I'm consciously trying to uh, roll back the dial a little, and
Yeah.
sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but it really is internally, it's an awful feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, it really can be. I think what you said is really true as well. I sometimes have this like small little voice, and it's always like, you're being too much, you're being too this. Or I'm like, oh my God, I hope this person doesn't think this about me and this about me, because your brain again is constantly kind of churning, and then you can really start overthinking situations because you know that you probably could be talking too much, or I stumble on words, like I said, or can't pronounce words, and then you're like, oh, I hope this person doesn't think I'm stupid or dumb or something like that, and it's constantly like in the side of your head, just going.
Yeah, the worst is actually for me when I'll say a word in my head I know is right and it comes out wrong, and then
Yeah,
people will correct me.
yes, but honestly, yes.
And there's some people where I've said to them, listen, I've got some issues. I understand. I know what I'm supposed to say, but if you could do me a favor and not keep correcting me.
Mhm.
And they still correct me.
Mhm.
And I just go, oh my, And then on the flip side, I think it's given me um, in the marketing and the creativity, in selling, the ability to talk, to move.
Yeah.
I find that I grasp things and understand a lot of things quicker than others.
Yeah.
So much so that sometimes I don't even have patience to listen to others finish talking because
Yeah.
it's like, get on with it
I'm
already.
done.
Yeah, we should have been talking a long time ago. But, and then like this conversation, I have conversations with other people, and ADHD is a pretty common thing. And they say it runs, high with entrepreneurs to some degree. And some people in conversations fluff it off, but it really is a serious thing. And I guess the worst part that comes from all of that is my own internal anxiety that
Mm.
requires additional work
Mhm.
to go through that,
Yeah,
right?
and I think
Or
Anxiety is something that is definitely attached with neurodivergency. A lot of neurodivergent people have anxiety, and depression as well, but I think mainly anxiety, if I'm correct. I have anxiety, and again, it's that thing of just constantly feeling like you need to be, am I doing the right thing? Am I being too much? Am I this? Am I that? And I think as well we have overactive brains, which is great, but then sometimes it's like almost too overactive that we're just constantly thinking and we can just blow things into massive bubbles and you just have to be like, oh, it's okay.
Yeah, no, well, I find you have to do a lot of talking down to
Yeah.
yourself, right? Just to bring it down. And when you say brain, so when at one point I used to see a therapist, and everyone should see a therapist because it's the only place you could talk and be open. You can't talk to your friends about everything. And I would talk to him, and my sleeping is awful.
Mm-hmm.
And unless I take like a sleeping pill or an aid to sleep 4 or 5 hours, I'm up every bit. And what they said to me was, yeah, your brain is a hard drive that won't turn off. So I could fall asleep, but if I wake up and then I think about something, it's like spinning, and it's it affects the rest of your day after if you're up all night and when you get a good night's sleep. So it's really it's kind of crazy. But I think I think it's really it's important that we talk about it and that people talk about it, because
I think so as
there's
well,
nothing
yeah.
wrong with it. It's gotta keeps you on your toes. And then so let me ask you, how has it helped you?
Mainly through grammar. I constantly asking AI, can you make this grammatically correct for me? Can you make this sentence structure correct? I also ask it a lot if things are correct, so I'll be like, can you make sure that this is correct? And I'll make it list why it isn't, so I can learn. And also when I have like 110 ideas running in my brain, I will sometimes just dump them into AI and they'll be like, can you make this make sense? Because in my head it makes sense, but I can't quite get all the words that are in my head and put them into one piece of paper. Like, I just need you to just help me just tie it up in a nice bow, and that would be great.
It's amazing. So for me, I've got lots of ideas and thoughts, and the hardest thing is getting it out of my head onto paper.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I have to start a project or something, I could sit here, no joke, hours, be mad at myself, or start to get uptight because I haven't put anything down and I don't even know where to begin.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll go into chat, and I mean, it's getting better every day, the chat. So I'll be chatting with chat, right? And I'll just, say, because I use the microphone a lot because it's easier than typing, because I can't type as fast as my mouth and my brain. And I'll just say to it, like, I'm thinking about this. I have these thoughts, these ideas. Where do I start? How do I start?
Mm-hmm.
And it gives me that kickstart. It gives me the 1, 2, 3 that I could then go 4, 5, 6, 7.
Mm-hmm.
And I have what to check. I'm not so much worried about grammar, although it could always use improvement. But it's just getting the bigger picture out. And then it's also, I mean, there's some people out there who speak really, really well, and they could articulate everything in a great way. And it's another area I just feel that I'm horrible in.
Me too.
Like, I'm afraid to use some words because I don't think they're going to come out even straight when I'm talking.
Yeah, I have the same. I sometimes will work around what I'm trying to say so I don't have to use certain words because I just can tell it's going to get stuck in my mouth somehow.
Yeah, it's so when that happens, then I'm all of a sudden I have a friend in chat who could help me get through it.
Mm-hmm.
And with chat, I'm not afraid to say anything or write anything.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to explain to anybody.
Yeah, that's really interesting actually, because that is true. And I never thought about that, but you just kind of write how you kind of want to write, and you're not second guessing yourself and reading through it about 5 times before you send it off. And yeah.
Oh, listen, I do this podcast. I don't have a problem talking, ever to people, but and everyone says, "Oh, you're so good, you're outgoing, you're this and that," but inside, I am like freaking out half the time.
Mm,
Right? I don't even think I've even said that out loud, but it's like, oh my God, close your eyes, close your mind, count to 10, think of something else. I've been started meditating like 5 years ago, just as a place to go, and even some breathing exercises during the day, because I
yeah.
find, I call it anxiety, not anxiety, but my insides, there's like a pressure valve
Mm,
that's going. And then you just got to find all these little different ways to bring you down.
yeah.
And then I have to tell myself a lot of times, like, you know what you're doing. You know
Hmm.
what you're doing. Right. So, and then when
Yeah.
someone says to me, "Oh my God, great job." Oh, thank you. They don't even know how much I appreciate hearing that.
Yeah.
Not for ego, not for anything other than for my brain to say to myself, "You did a good job, Warren. You're okay."
Yeah.
Because
Honestly.
it's really big. Did your parents notice that you had issues, or how did it come about?
Yeah, like I said, my parents were amazing parents. I was very lucky. Um, I think I got tested when I was like 4 or 5, when I was very young, and a lot of, again, I can only speak on ADHD, but ADHD doesn't normally get diagnosed in women until a lot later, because we normally have like more better masked ADHD, they say. Um, so yeah, I was very young. It's because my brother also got tested. So they're like, well, it's obviously something, so you can get tested.
So this is all their fault.
Yeah. um, and then they took me to get. I still remember the room. There was like a swinging ball. I think it was like to test how quick you can look at it. And there was a few things on the computer that we had to do. And I had to do it again when I was doing my GCSEs, just to make sure I could have the extra time and I wasn't lying. And that was quite funny. That was in like just this woman's house. Like you just walked in, it was on her dining room table, and she just gave you like a computer and a few pieces of paper to like test. It was bizarre. And then both of them came through saying I had dyslexia and ADHD. Surprise, surprise. And then I had a ADHD doctor. Oh, I just got a thing. I need to go run and get my charger. I thought I did have my charger, but it's saying I don't. Classic ADHD moment.
Oh, you know the Adam Sandler song "Keys, Wallet, Phone"?
Yeah.
Well, when I leave my house, I'm singing that song to make sure I got my keys, wallet, phone. Get in the car and I go keys, wallet, phone, glasses, and I got to go back and get my glasses. Right?
Get my charger
Go
now.
get your charger. We just have a blank moment. I would do a commercial, but I don't have any sponsors yet. I'm looking for some. So if you'd like to be a sponsor, feel free to reach out. I've got some great opportunities for you, and would love to chat with you. I guess now she's looking for her charger.
That's what I bought it up. That's what I thought. I plugged it in. I forgot to do the actual main job. Yes. So we did all the
It's
testing.
yeah.
Um, and then I had a ADHD doctor until I was 18, and then or 17, and then you turn into an ADHD adult. And I just got completely lost on the system, so that's why I haven't had any kind of medication since.
Oh, you're not taking anything now?
I'm not taking anything now because I got lost on the system, so they stopped kind of prescribing the medication to me. And then I don't know what it's like where you live, but here, because it's mainly all done on the NHS, it's really bad waiting time. It's like 10 years. Sorry, I'm just making sure this
10
is
years
plugged in
for
right.
what?
Why's my charger not working? Sorry, I'm having technical issues.
Story of my life.
Power mode on. Okay, cool. We're safe. It takes 10 years in the UK around that time on a waiting list to first of all get re-diagnosed with ADHD and then to get your medication again. It's around that time. It's
10
crazy.
years?
It can take up to 10 years. Yeah, there's loads of people on a waiting list. Loads of people who, I think it might be easier for me because I was diagnosed as a child. But if you weren't diagnosed as a child, which a lot of people who have ADHD aren't, because you're just kind of seen as someone who's got behavior issues and a bit difficult. And it's not till you're an adult that you're like, no, there's definitely something, and you can take yourself out and get tested. That it can take up to 10 years, to get diagnosed and get the right medication, and they're super.
Sounds uptight.
Super tight. Yeah, super tight on who they give the medication to as well, and things like that.
Wow. Well, so in Canada, I mean, I go to the doctor and had a conversation with him, maybe because I was an adult already. And, they pulled out a questionnaire of which I answered all the right answers to get medicated. And they started me off on, I started with Concerta, like, I don't know, maybe 10 milligrams. And by the time I was done with Concerta, I maxed out at 72. And then I stopped that for a little while and then restarted with Vyvanse at 10, and now I'm up to 60. And it, like, I don't know if it's getting worse or getting better, but maybe just life, maybe movement. I'm actually can't even watch TV much anymore because I'm bouncing, and the phones have not helped any of that. Right?
No.
The phone is the kiss of death. And it suits my bouncing around because I could look at 100 things in a minute, right? And then I'm good. So I'm trying to figure out how to lay down the phone.
I have to do exactly the same thing. So I can hyperfixate on that phone for ages. Do you know what I do? Is you can put screen time on your phone. I actually learned this from someone else who told me. They put screen time on for 10 minutes. So then every 10 minutes it comes up and it says, do you want to continue watching for 15 minutes? And then you're like, do I want to continue watching 15? And it takes you out the hole.
Wow.
Because otherwise you just keep going. And it's kind of like, okay, an extra 15 minutes. And then it comes up again and you're like, this has been half an hour now. Like, do I want to do it for another 15 minutes? And then it's kind of like you're deciding that for yourself.
I would turn off the timer. Like I would just get tired of I set my phone so that I remember. Well, I set my phone at one point so I remember to to drink water regularly throughout the day. And then the thing's beeping and beeping, and at one point I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Get rid of this. Right? Because it was like but again, it's all part of the whole system of what you deal with.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy. But yeah, it's and then I find when I see someone doing something, I go, I wonder if they have something. Because you almost want to give everyone the benefit of the doubt and not pass judgment on anyone. That's the other thing that this has done, is it's helped me be less judgmental as a person.
Yeah.
Because I really, really don't feel good when people are, pointing certain things out to me because they don't know.
I totally agree with that. It makes you a lot more understanding of people, and especially when people do have different ways of thinking. You're like, okay, because I have a different way of thinking, so I understand that certain things might be hard for you because certain things are hard for me, and they might be different, but I understand kind of how you are feeling a little bit, so it does make you a lot more understanding.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And I mean, we're saying a lot of the same things, and there's I don't want to date myself, but there's a big age difference between us. So the fact that I had these issues when I was in school coming out, and you just have them and you just came out and the same thing, kind of lets people know that, it's out there. And
Mhm.
if you should be listening to us and you feel it's making you think about certain things that you do or you say or how you say and do, go to your doctor.
Yeah.
Go have a conversation. Uh, Reach out to me. I'll have a conversation with you. I'm pretty open.
I can have a
Uh,
conversation with you as well. I'm
right?
more than
And
happy.
it's just sharing what it is. I happen to be talkative and outgoing and not afraid to ask people for help.
Mhm.
But I know there's a lot of people out there that either don't know or afraid or just stuck.
Mhm.
And, it's not easy for those folks to do that because every day they get up and they go through their day.
Mhm.
So I don't know, makes us a little more, I hope it makes everybody a little more caring and understanding,
Yes, that is. Yeah, exactly.
right? It's, yeah, but wow. So, all right, we can go on. First of all, this was when I invited you on and we spoke briefly the other day. This is not where I thought
No,
we'd be
sorry.
conversing, but you made my day because I'm happy to talk to somebody else living the same dream,
Mhm.
if you want to put a positive spin. But I'm really excited for the people that will read the summary of the podcast and then hopefully sit down and listen, maybe
Mhm.
watch it. And if we could help one more person be comfortable within themselves,
Yeah.
then that's a great thing because I say it all the time. It took a while to figure out, but we're on this planet for a really short time, and I think people should be spending most of that time learning, doing good stuff, not worrying and being anxiety ridden and
Mm.
panicked every day.
Mm.
So every little thing that that's put out there to help those people is great. So this conversation was super. You know, what I think we should do is we could do a little update down the road,
Okay. Yeah.
and then we could talk a little bit more about print and what's going on. But yeah, no, this was great.
Yeah, it really was great. Thank you for letting me talk.
Yeah, and I hope I didn't overtalk you. Just as we battle each other, right? Could you imagine that dueling ADHD? That would be a good show.
Let's go.
Good reality show. But
Completely all over the place, and I'll definitely forget more than my charger. I'll be running here, then everywhere. But we're just gonna go.
oh yeah, the forgetting it doesn't end. It really and I try to come up with all these things and make some lists and follow this and do that, and I can't even do that regularly.
No. Well, you forget about the list. That's I do that quite a lot, and then a week later I'll find it, and be like, oh, I forgot.
Notes. So what do I do? Hundreds of notes that I throw in the garbage after because I can't read what I wrote and I don't remember what I wrote as I was doing shorthand to not forget.
Oh my gosh, the shorthand when you write notes and you're trying to abbreviate, then you come back and you can't.
I
So much.
wasn't a journalist. I don't know how to do shorthand. I don't know what I'm thinking.
Oh, I used to have that when I used
Right?
to take meeting notes, and I would write in the
Well,
meeting.
actually, I'm going to do a plug. I
Okay.
wish they were my sponsor, but I don't have any sponsors. Uh, this device just came out and it's called the Plaud, Plaud. I'm going to do a clip and send it to them. This sits on your back of your phone. This records everything around you, record your phone calls, it record meetings, and it will give you a transcript. So now I don't sit ever and try to take notes
Mm.
because I can't take notes and listen at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of what happened in school. So then I just doodled and made pictures because at that point I forgot I couldn't understand what they were saying because I tried to take a note and then sit through another hour and a half of the class just to get through it. Torture. So the Plaud or the Limitless or any of these AI devices coming out that record everything. Great for people with ADHD or some other symptoms. So that's maybe they'll be a sponsor for the podcast.
Yeah.
Right. So anything final you want to say before we close her down?
No, just again, thank you for having me on. I really enjoyed it, and it was really nice speaking openly with you. So thank you as well for opening up. And I do love print, even though I didn't say much about it. But just finishing off with, I do love print, guys.
Hey, I love the fact that you're 3 months out of school or whatever, and you're in print. So we didn't talk about dad at all, and we
No.
could save that for later.
Yeah.
But I will say, Dad, when you listen to this, you should be really proud of your daughter. You've got an awesome kid working with you, and she'll carry the reins just fine. As long as you don't try to control her. How's that for a little plug?
That's perfect.
Okay.
I'll clip that down and send it to Dad.
I'll send you the copy right away. Before the podcast comes out, you could have that clip as a pre. To everybody who's still here at the end, I am forever grateful if you've made it this far. If it's your first time making it this far, you picked the right episode to listen to. Rebekah, I am truly grateful for the conversation as well. I'm actually feeling, I'm happy right now. I'm feeling a lot lighter. I'll see what happens when I get off and I have to get on the next call and I get slammed. But awesome. So important, this topic. Everybody, please be aware of the people around you. You see them saying something funny, doing something that you're not used to. Don't assume anything.
Mm-hmm.
Assume that they're doing a little bit of a struggle to get through it.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I appreciate everybody always listening. If you know anyone who wants to be on, I'm happy to discuss any topic. Let me know. Send me a note. Otherwise, I wish you a great day, and just go out there, be happy, do something nice for someone. See you soon.
Bye.